Okay. Actually, hold on. Let me switch the... No, wrong scene. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Yay. Yippee. Also, let me do something else. Let me move my tabs around. Okay. Um. Hold on a second. Hold on. I did not actually check that things were prepared. But this should be good. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully we are ready to get this started. Hopefully. Let me do one thing. Usually I prepare things more, but today I was just kind of watching YouTube instead of making sure everything's prepared beforehand. And so it kind of just came time for the tea party to start. And we're just kind of here. Yippee. Let me see. Yeah. I think we are good now to start though. Maybe okay, I did make some changes to the setup of this. Mostly moving just the table closer. Because it was kind of far away. Could be real. And also I did make some changes later. But I can explain that when it's close to the time to do that. Okay. Well, let's start this out. Let's start out, first thing I want to say is I probably should get like an official name for what this is. Because I have just been calling it the tea party that happens on Monday. The Monday tea party. That's what I have been calling it. I should probably get like a name set in stone if this is a thing I'm going to be doing. Because I put in the stream title as it's currently unnamed. It just kind of goes as the Monday tea party. I don't know if that's like a good name or if I should try to come up with something like catchy or something of the sort. Let me think. Because Monday tea party, it's kind of the only thing it has for it is it's a descriptive name. But like it doesn't have anything special in it. Because like when I'm thinking, I don't know, it's hard to come up with names. The only name like in my head is like the Boston Tea Party. But that's just literally just something from history. Yeah. So I don't think that would be a good name here. Plus, we're not in Boston. At least I don't think we're in Boston. I don't actually know fully where we are, but we're somewhere. I know we're on a freeway somewhere. I don't actually know where. I didn't check. I kind of rushed to get us to this location. I did forget to do that as well. Got to do a lot of things. The only thing I remembered is to move the table closer and then get a better setup for the games. I guess I say it now. We no longer have the gaming tablet. That was a one-time thing. Because while I probably could have made it better to get the reflections on it working without an intermission, it kind of becomes something else. I'm trying to say is like no longer the tea party because you cannot see the table basically. Because I don't know. I guess the vibe I'm going is like a gathering, and if it's all focused on the game tablet, they can only see the tablet. It kind of just becomes like a regular stream. And so I have something for now, but we can figure that out a little bit later. Hold on. I also forgot. Okay. Okay, I forgot to bring up the tea. Alright, you're gonna see something, but don't worry about what you see. Just don't worry about it. I forgot to... Actually, hold on. Butler, bring up the tea. It's time for some refreshment. Yes. You have it, surely. I changed things around, and you should surely still have the tea. Yes, you do. Okay, Butler. The tea onto the table. Yes. Same tea set. You just can't see at the chairs. That's what's going on. The chairs just can't be seen. All the guests are still here, although you can't see them. They're here in our heart. Butler, get out of here. Thank you for the tea. Okay. Now you're gonna see something that I forgot to prepare as well. How do I do this again? Right here. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Surely. Yes? Yay. Alright. Now that is set up again. What is this? Okay, wait. Alright, refreshments. I'm gonna take... yeah, I'll take a quick drink. Hold on. Alright. Now we can probably go ahead and get started. Let's see. Alright, I was talking about choosing a name for this. Yeah, I'm just not really good at coming up with names. Okay, let me think. Monday Tea Party. Monday Tea Bonanza. No. Bonanza, I feel like I'm going to save for like birthday streams. Because like, I don't know. It fits. It fits. It has alliteration. Hold on. Can I get alliteration in the name of the tea party? Actually, should this still be a tea party? Well, it's fine if it is. It's fine. Even though I'm not technically drinking tea, it's fine if it's still called that. I mostly chose the tea party in the first place because I've just been reading and watching a lot of recaps of like manhwa, of like villainous manhwa, and they're all in like the same setting of like nobles and stuff. But I don't know what that setting is called. So it's like it's not medieval, not straight fantasy. It's like high society nobles. Not Victorian. I don't know. I guess like high society is like the closest I can think of to call it. Either that or just calling it like villainous, but like not all of it is like villainous stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Merchants and nobles and commoners. It's a whole mess. But that is why I chose Tea Party. It's ever so slightly why I picked this model. Cause it kind of, well, I like the look of it, first of all. The colors are right, and it's kind of growing on me. But it kind of fits. So, the name of this is probably still gonna contain Tea Party. I don't know. Maybe next week I'll have decided a name, or maybe it'll still just be the Monday Tea Party. I don't know, because maybe some days I won't be able to do it on a Monday. Some days I might not be able to. And so, I don't know. If I have to do it on like Tuesday, I'd probably call it a Tuesday Tea Party. But then, I don't know. I like still want it to be the same name. But like saying Monday Monday Tea Party on a Tuesday, I guess that works. It's a Monday. Yeah, okay. I guess Monday Tea Party works. Cause it is Mondays are Mondays, the start of the week. Mondays are worse for some people. So, yeah. Kind of works, just kind of sit here and talk. Let me see. Alright, I have been thinking about like how the way I speak. Because I haven't, okay, while I haven't been checking the VODs, mostly because I'm just not interested in hearing my own voice, even though it would probably be helpful just to understand how my voice sounds. I'm not interested in hearing it. But I have been thinking that maybe, just maybe, I have previously been speaking too fast. Because like in a conversation when I'm talking to somebody, I feel like I kind of rush to get words out. Because when you're speaking to somebody and there's like any length of time over like 4 seconds of silence, that kind of just comes off as like awkward and like not normal conversation. And so like my whole life I've been trying to get words out, or learning to get words out before that 4 seconds passes so that the conversation continues. But my brain does not work that fast. And so I'm just not able to think of the words before I'm able to get them out. So that's fine for like saying hello. It's like somebody asked me a question 9 times out of 10. I say I don't know because my brain has not processed the answer yet. It's kind of just how it is. Because I know that if I stand there and then actually use my brain to think of the answer, they will likely just leave. Because I'll just be there, not saying anything. And then they will probably just leave. But since I am here, I don't actually have to wash out my words. It's a sort of, I don't know. I guess it wouldn't be like a captive audience. Because anyone here could actually just leave. But, you know, it's a similar effect where I need to try to take my time thinking, take my time speaking, and there are like some points when I'm speaking right now where I'm purposely just not talking, just to let my brain catch up. I'm just adding in silence. It's something I'll need to work on. But I think if I want to be able to continually figure out words, it's something I need to do. Because if I'm rushing out the words, I focus too much on speaking the words and not actually thinking them. Yeah. I don't know, it's just trying to get time to think. Okay. You know, this sounds like kind of a deep conversation. And you know what that needs? Ancient Chinese proverbs. Last time I did this, I was looking at Japanese proverbs, but now, internet, give me ancient Chinese proverbs. Let's see. Definitive guide to Chinese proverbs, sayings, and quotes. Journey of 1,000 miles. I've heard that one before. When the old man from the frontier lost his horse, how could he have known it was a blessing in disguise? I don't know what that means. One cannot have both the fish and the bear's paw. Okay. You can't have everything, but why is it specifically a fish? Specifically a bear's paw? Okay. Dripping water can penetrate a stone. If you pour water on a rock, nothing happens. But if you pour water on a rock, nothing happens. But if you pour water on a rock, nothing happens. But if you pour water on a rock, nothing happens. Alright, let me read some more. Chinese proverbs about love. Okay, I'm not reading that one. Feel the R of this one. So literally, okay, I'm not even gonna explain it. Okay. The old man under the moon ties to the knot. Okay. Some of these don't make sense. to love the house and also the glow. Maybe something's getting lost in translation. Or maybe it's just context and lore. China lore. Okay. Get that out of you. Okay. Let's see. We can talk about what I have been doing. Because I didn't actually stream on Wednesday. And then I didn't actually do the stream on Thursday that happens if I don't stream on Wednesday. Let's see. On Wednesday, there are people over. And so I kind of couldn't stream. And then on Thursday, I could have streamed, but I didn't. Because I was kind of playing Minecraft. I was mining Minecraft. Crafting in the mine. Yeah. That's kind of just it. Not really a big reason. I could have just stopped playing Minecraft to stream, and then I didn't. Yeah. Let's see. For the weekend, I did ride my bike, and let me tell you, it doesn't work. It's not viable. Not viable at all. I'm not gonna say too much about what it is like, but it was not fun. And it wasn't so much that it was gonna take a while, but even in the shortness that it was not good. So I'm not gonna do that again. I'll probably ride a bike in future, but not as a commute. I think, okay, I will say it, I think it's honestly because the morning ride wasn't bad at all. But in the afternoon, the sun has been heating up the ground, and that causes a lot of wind. And a lot of wind. And usually, well, okay, normally the wind blows pretty constantly in one direction. Or like, it changes slightly, but it's usually one way. And that way just so happens to be such a way that it would cause a headwind when I'm coming back from work. So, not great. So commuting by bike does not work for where I live. But anyways. Let's see. I have been thinking about Minecraft lately. Mostly because I've been playing it, getting back into it. I think that I now realize what things I like in Minecraft. Well, at least one thing that I like in Minecraft. I hear that. And that is kelp farms. You know, I kind of just like making kelp farms. It might be partially because I don't know the science or don't know like the final answer of kelp farms. So maybe I'm just like figuring out things as I'm going along, and that's what I like. But I don't know. I like kelp farms. Also, yeah, because there isn't like a Minecraft YouTube video about kelp farms that goes like super in depth. Like, I know the mechanics. I know that kelp grows on average every like 496 seconds. I know that when it's broken, it gets aged between 1 and 24, and it stops going to H25. What am I thinking of? I know that each kelp block smelts 20 items, but it's made with 9 kelp. And so if you want to put it back to the machine so it can smelt 9 more kelp, then it only really smelts 20 items. 20 items, no, 11 items extra. Doing the correct math. But like, I don't know. I couldn't explain it to a level that you would find in like a random YouTube video by like cubic meter or something. Because all the kelp farms on YouTube are the observer piston farms. And I'm gonna be real, it was kind of bad. Mostly because they just take up so much space and they can kind of cost a lot of materials. I think I have it down pat now. I think I have a design in my head for a kelp flying machine farm. That'd be pretty good. Hold on a sec. I can get something for this. Butler, bring out the projector. Where is it? Where is it? Where'd I put it? Right there. Butler, the projector. Can I do this? Butler, set up the projector. Set up over there. Let's make bigger. Okay, this is also why I moved the table closer, so that I could have big projector. Actually, hold on. I might move the table down. Can I do this cleanly? Grab everything. No, I cannot grab everything at once. Oh, I know why. I know why I cannot grab everything at once. Alright, check this out. Let's change the viewing angle. Wonderful. That all needs to be set up there. Yay. Alright, let me... Where is my chair? It's right here. I don't want... Okay, well let me... Actually, yeah, let me just... Scooch on over. Let me just... Scooch on over a little bit. There we go. Hope you don't mind me sitting right here. Alright, projector. Let's get this squared up. Good enough. Good butler, thank you. Goodbye. Alright. Am I able to do this? Hold on. Alright, do this. Yeah. Well, I didn't actually set it up. I'm planning on drawing. Properties. Bam. Bam. Ooh, projecting? Okay. That's awesome. That was literally like a business meeting or something. Why is the canvas so small? Oh, does that do that? Does not work. Okay. Can I make the canvas bigger? Whatever. Actually, no. Zoom. There we go. Then we kind of work. Close enough. This is all I need. Alright. My design for a flying machine kelp farm, yes. I'm gonna draw a rectangle. Okay. Lovely. Oh, no, I can use. I know what to do. Right. There's a line. And then enter. Why does... Is there... Is this shape? Right. There we go. Line tool. Now we have our lovely rectangle. It's gonna be 8 blocks by something like 32. I haven't done the math or the science to figure out exactly what this number should be. It could be 32, it could be like 36. I don't know. But for now it's 32. Mostly because it's half of 64, honestly. Okay, let's say 8 by 32, and this is our kelp area. Inside here, with the green, we get kelp. Kelp area. So inside there, our kelp area. Actually, I can move my windows around. Maybe. One moment. Checking. Okay, good. No, I'm gonna move it back. It doesn't work. It doesn't work as well as I'd want it to. What is... Yeah, I don't know. What is that? Did I might have Oh, I did accidentally do something. Okay, I'll fix that at the stream. Don't worry, it's not something you have to worry about. So this is our kelp area. 8 by 32 is math. Clever. Uh, 8 by 32, 256. So this right here is 256 kelp area. That's not clear to you. Why is it not clear to you? Hold on. Like an outline thing? Hold on. Let me learn paint a bit. No. Okay, whatever. What are they doing? Yeah, 250. Kelp area 256. That's math. Okay, what can we do with 256 kelp? Because one kelp goes on average every 500 seconds, rounded, Each smoker each smoker can smelt 720 items an hour. That's one item every 6 seconds. It comes out to if you imagine it always goes at 500 seconds, it comes out to like something like 80 kelp area per smoker. But with like what I felt in game, it's slightly more. It's like more than that. It's like more than 100. So let's say each smoker gets. I'm gonna draw a smoker. I don't remember what smoker looks like. This is a smoker. Each smoker gets, with kelp area 256, each smoker gets 128. 128 kelp. 128 kelp area. Because in a world where they always grow times a second, the kelp always goes at 500 seconds, always goes 1 kelp. They would need like 80, but it's not, it doesn't work like that. Sometimes they don't grow times a second, sometimes they go faster, but also because kelp stops growing when the kelp block reaches an age of 25, and the age is randomized whenever it's broken. So kelp can grow, kelp can be broken and then randomized to an age of 24, in which it will only grow 1 block. So it's there. 128 should be a good number per smoker of kelp area. And so 8 by 32 should be 2 smokers running constantly of kelp. And so that is the kelp area of my farm. And this would probably be to a height of like 4. Like 4. Putting in green because 4 kelp. It doesn't need to be that tall. Because the taller you make it, because kelp can go to a max height of like 24. But the taller you make it, more kelp will reach their max age before getting all the way up. So only really needs to be like 4 tall. And if it's 4 tall, then you have to subtract the block the kelp is like going on. Because you can't break that, because you break the root basically of the kelp, it's not going to grow anymore, because it'll just be gone because you broke it. And so you have to break one above that. So 4 kelp, meaning the kelp grow up to 3 blocks. Not 3 blocks tall, 4 blocks tall, but when you break it you get 3 kelp, because you have to leave 1 kelp there so it continues to grow. That's the basis for the area. And so this would run 2 smokers constantly, theoretically. However, how do you choose when to harvest this area? How do you do that? Okay. Can I move this? Move this way. No, move this way. You know. It would help if I can make the canvas bigger. Resize. I can't. Whatever. Okay. Actually, resize. Resize. 5%. 5%. $120, I guess. No. Tree size, 5%. 60%. No. I think because it already drew on this canvas, it'll just make it bigger with the thing. Okay then. Okay, well, just remember this. Remember this in your head. I'm gonna erase it. Can I make space bigger? Is there a bigger eraser? For this show? No, okay. All new. Don't say it. Resize. Make it 160%. There we go. Alright. How do you choose when to do that? Because most farms use observers to detect when a kelp has grown. Specifically, the observer piston farms that harvest the kelp immediately as it grows. Now that's pretty good. However, in a flying block machine, flying machine kelp farm, because we're going to draw the rectangle again. I'm not going to use line tool because you have this rectangle. You have kelp in the middle, right here, and you entire thing filled with kelp. You can only really place observers around the edges. Let's say you place observers around the edges to detect the edge kelp. And that kind of works. That works fine, I guess. But you won't know if the kelp inside has reached max height and can't grow anymore. But what you could do instead is just set up a timer. Because also with the observers in brown, okay, it goes down the entire length of the thing, so you need a lot of observers. Or instead, here's something. Can I not make the erasing thing? Is that not a thing? What? Juby, don't worry about it. Also, I forgot to say hello. I forgot to say hello. Hello, Rose. Hello, Juby. Don't worry about why we're on the street. Okay. This is just where I chose the location for it. Okay, the eraser tool is not helpful in MS Paint, but it worked. Okay. What was the thing? Okay. You could use a timer with like a hopper clock for the flying machine. Your kelp farm. A 1-layer kelp farm. Algae cannot be killed, will kill it. You can. I'm trying to explain my epic kelp farm idea. Okay, this would help if I didn't erase what I had before, because that was the first part of the explanation. But I'm trying to farm a kelp. Let's see, if you don't know, then it would... Let me try to draw. Hold on, I can control Z. There we go. So we have this kelp. This is the kelp. This would be kelp and algae. I don't actually know. But I do know that there is no algae in Minecraft. So this is a Minecraft kelp farm, by the way. So this is the floor, and this is kelp that I want to farm. If I were to break the kelp, right here, destroys this entire thing, and then it farms the kelp. But if I break it at the bottom, there's no kelp left there to grow back. And yeah, you make it. You can use them to make water elevators. Yeah. But if I break the kelp, where's my mouse? Right here, then this right here is left so that it can grow back. I can keep farming the kelp. Because what I'm using to farm it is, okay, I'm gonna get blue, a machine that flies and moves across and breaks it right there. So I'm using a machine that goes across. It'll break all the kelp, but leave the bottom kelp so the kelp can grow back and I can keep farming it. Yeah. Okay. Can you underwater? Yes. The flying machine does move underwater. It's a flying block flying machine. Okay, let me draw it from like top down. The flying machine itself would look something. Redstone dust does break underwater, but this is not redstone dust. It's not used redstone dust. Use green, which is slime blocks. The gray right here is going to be an observer. And it uses pistons to push. Okay. Okay, now I'm just explaining flying machines, but it works. Okay. This is my flying machine. Okay, let me fully draw it, and then I'll try to explain it. Okay. Actually, can I resize this smaller so my cursor is bigger? 50. And then zoom in. I'm just gonna use red circle I'm talking about. Okay. So we have the slime blocks, which stick to blocks and cause them to move together when pushed by a piston, and observers to activate the pistons. So let's say an observer sends a redstone signal when it detects something change. So if you cause a change right here, the observer will detect it. It'll move from here to here to the piston to activate it. And this piston will push on these blocks. It moves it one block further. Because this observer and this piston are connected to these slime blocks because they're sticky. Okay? And then this observer detects that change. It detects the change, and so it sends its redstone signal to here, to this piston. But since these are now pushed out further one block, it sends the piston out, it grabs this, and it actually pulls. It pulls this in. Okay, so first, like, this piston pushes, these move out. This detects change, this piston pushes, but these are, okay, and then it's able to grab this and pull it together. So these start touching. They get pushed out and pulled back together to touching again. And then this observer right here detects that change and sends a redstone signal to start the system again. To push out. And then grab and pull back. It just keeps going back and forth between these two observers. And it just goes. And because these are all blocks, they can't be washed away by water. And so it does work underwater. Okay. Let's see. That's what I meant to do. I just... okay. Can I control these? Yeah. Oh, I need a quick drink of water. Alright. So we have the kelp, we have the flying machine, and to know when to farm the kelp, we can send a timer. No, we can have a timer that will send a redstone signal to the flying machine to send it out every now and then. I'm not gonna fully explain the timer because I don't remember it off the top of my head. So you'll have to trust. So imagine a clock that goes and every now and then it sends out a signal. What do you need the kelp for? I don't actually really need it for anything. I just kind of like farming kelp. But it can be used as two things, really. It can be used as food because you can eat it, and it can also be used as fuel to smelt things in like furnaces and stuff. So it does have uses. But I kind of just like making kelp farms. Okay. Yeah, hold on. So one more thing about the flying machine that like specific to farms of like kelp. I'm just gonna draw it quickly again. Not gonna put in the detail. Get the general shape of it. Flying machine. Okay, flying machine. When you send the redstone signal, it activates, yada yada. However, there is a very rare chance that when the machine is moving forward and flying and harvesting the kelp, that a kelp will grow right here. Because this is where the machine breaks the kelp. So there's a very rare chance that as it goes over, like in this space, a kelp will grow into the machine. And that will cause this observer to detect that change. And it sends an extra signal to this piston, causing the machine to break. And that is not good. However, I do have a fix for that. And okay, I need more detail. Actually, can I select? Deform select. The fix for that is to take this and move it over here. Then we do need clear brush. And then we just extend this back out. Because I need to draw more. Okay, I'm gonna make the kelp. I'm gonna make the walls brown. So this is the walls of the farm. The machine is going down these walls in this direction to cover the kelp. Kelp is blue because the kelp is all here. Before, the kelp was able to go into it because the whole thing in the bottom was over on the left. The kelp was able to grow right here in front of the observer, but if I move it over to the right, then it's facing this block and there's no kelp there, so it cannot grow. So that is one change I need to remember to do to stop the very rare chance of the machine getting stuck. Because this way it should just keep going. Okay. What was that? So we have the kelp. We can harvest the kelp. But now, how do we get the kelp that's been harvested into collection? Because right now, it's just floating there in the water. That's something else I came up with. Okay. Because normal kelp farms, they do this thing where they go up in like a staircase, but the water flows down. The water flows downwards like a waterfall. Okay. And then you have actually more like this. More like this. So this is all solid right here. And then they would have the kelp going on these layers. And the waterfall would push all the kelp down into a collection point at the bottom. However, if you wanted to not have this massive space being unused, you'd want all the kelp to be on the same level. Because all the kelp is on the same level, what you can do is just go above and add in another layer of kelp. And you can just stack the machine on top of itself. And it's more space efficient. And so, but we still need the water flow to push the kelp to one area so we can collect it. So what I do is I put wooden signs. Wooden signs along the whole thing. And in Minecraft, if you can place them like this on top of each other, and they kind of just float. The kelp underneath. And why do you need to do this? Because, let's see, okay, I'm going to finish this and then explain. Because kelp is used for water elevators because of one reason. Let's say you place a water block up here. Water flows downward. Now you have this water column right here. And if you want to turn this into a kelp elevator, I'm not realizing it's slightly cropped on the stream, but that's fine. You'll see enough. Then you place soul sand at the bottom, except it doesn't immediately turn into a water elevator, because to make a water elevator you need a source block, and you only placed one source block at the very top. And there's a special property about kelp. Kelp can turn blocks into source blocks. So if you plant kelp here and you place kelp all the way up, then every single block here turns into a source block. And that allows you to make a bubble elevator. But the thing is, sometimes you don't want that, because up here we have one source block, that flows downwards and out. This is here to push the kelp down into our collection area somewhere over here. But if this kelp right here were allowed to grow into this block, it would turn this into our source block. And then this kelp would grow. And then this kelp would grow. And then so this would all become source blocks and wouldn't flow the water into our collection area. The kelp is also underwater. This is all also in water. Just so you know. And so we have the signs there to stop the kelp from growing into it. And the signs are waterlogged as well. So you do need them to be waterlogged so that the items will float upwards. Because items float upwards in Minecraft. And so they get broken by the machine and they float upwards into here, into this flowing water, into the collection area. Yeah. That's my science of a kelp farm. I don't have anything particular to say about the collection itself. Mostly because I haven't made anything with that. I kind of just use hoppers and stuff. And it just works. Yeah. Everything else is mostly normal, like super smelter, but with smokers for kelp. Because it kind of does make a lot of kelp. But yeah, that's my kelp farm, epic kelp farm science explanation. Because all that kelp goes into something that looks kind of like this. Let's see. And these are supposed to be smelters, and they're cooking kelp right now. They're cooking kelp. They'll have like hoppers on top to funnel the kelp into them with actually like a minecart. A minecart with a chest. No, a minecart with a hopper that goes across the top to distribute the kelp. Yeah, something like that. It's basically just a super smelter, but for kelp. Kelp only. Then yada yada yada. The kelp, once it's smelted, goes into a crafter. Crafter looks something. Goes into a crafter. I'm pretty sure that's what crafter looks like. And all I know, it has a thing that items come out. It gets crafted into the dried kelp blocks, and that can be used to fuel items. So I put it back into the machine to fuel itself, and so it just runs, and it makes extra. I don't know. Kelp science. We can start presenting this. Close this. Don't save. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I don't know when, but all the cars stop. But it's fine. I can make all the cars start again. There we go. Someone's supposed to have. Okay. So that is kelp explanation. And while we have the projector out with the presentation board, I can go ahead and play daily games. Or at least the 2 daily games I have. Hold on. Hold on. Question mark. Uh, where is it? I have to launch it, and it's right here. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot. There we go. Daily games. Let's go back to okay. Look at this. All right. Um, you can go ahead and start now. Actually, what day did I miss? I didn't do the entire last week. Okay. Okay, I'm trolling. I can do some of those right now. But first, we're doing today. The fish. Active. Later debut. Female. Not English. Light colored hair. I don't know if that helps. Actually, no, it's this hair color exactly. Who is non-English with this haircut? You kind of can't see. Let me do my hand tiny bit. That haircut. I don't know. Okay, they don't speak English. Actually, they don't speak English at all. Okay. Are they Japanese? Let me try to get language. Japanese. Okay, Japanese YouTube humanoid human with this color hair, light yellow hair. Okay, not Hololive. It might be independent. Hold on a second. Hold on. Is YouTube on Japanese, or they might not be Japanese? I might be making a mistake. They're not Japanese. Oh, they're also an undead spirit. Okay. Who is Yano Kuromu? No. Who is Yoko? No. They're not there. Who is... Let me think. Okay, let me try to guess an independent. Just guess. Who is independent? Who is only independent? I think Lena is a mythic talent. Okay, because they're not mythic talent. It could still be independent. Japanese only independent. Okay, let me just get somebody independent. Just I think Nina's independent. Independent, yes, okay. They are an independent. Humanoid human. Oshimark. One of the Oshimarks is the name. I don't know if that helps. I don't know. Following more than 117, less than 2 million. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna know this. Because they're independent, Japanese only. YouTube. Human. I'm gonna need a hint. Let me start thinking of names. This is probably going to come down to me guessing randomly until I get a hint. And then maybe I'll get close. I don't know. Let's see, what information am I missing? I have all this. I'm missing debut date, I guess. Debut date and following. That's not going to help too much because I just don't know those. Okay. Actually, height. They're short. No, they're 5'1". That does not help me. Do I know somebody 5'1"? Isn't that like Mint Phantom? Or is Mint Phantom under... No, Mint Phantom might be short. How tall is she? Yeah. Because I think if I can get more information correct, then I might get a useful hint. But a useful hint might not show up. Okay, it would help more if I knew debut dates, but I don't. Um, 10 guesses left. I'm just gonna randomly guess Activeman Brain. Random guess. Hold on. Shared Oshimark. Okay. I think okay, one of their two if they have two Oshimarks, then it's in this group. That does not help. Wouldn't have to randomly guess again. Random guess. Hold on a second. No, I don't know. I need a hint. Um. Send it. Hint is available. Go in. Following. Doesn't help me because I don't know the numbers. Hair, 92%. Okay, it's kind of is just light split hair, but also apparently pink is 92%. Random guess. Okay, I'm gonna call it. I don't know this person. R51. What hints could he even get? Oshimark, I guess. Or like Zodiac. Like, the hints aren't going to help me at this point. I have enough information that I need, but I just don't know them. My brain cannot think of them. Random guess. It is available. Go ahead. Oshimark, White Heart, and Ribbon. I also don't know the Oshimark to be tourist. Okay. What we're gonna do is pretty sure it's not independent. Yugi-Sakuna. I almost got it. Later debut than that. That doesn't help. Four guesses. I think we just give up at this point. I think we do give up. We did get 99% of Health Garland, but that's not help either. Although there is no random guess. There is no give up button. So I think we can just random guess until random guess to give up. What was it? Someday, I don't know. Okay. Can I click the channel and be safe? I cannot. Never mind. Can I click this and be safe? Maybe. Maybe. Okay. I don't know. We'll do 1 or 2 days. Put in the fish. Active, earlier gen, English something else. Non-American, Hackle Spills. Not Australian, Gen 2, EN, not Hololive. EN, Gen 2, not Hololive. Do I know this? No. I'm not gonna know. Twitch and YouTube. Gen 2, EN. Debut date later. They're not Base Connect. They're gonna be an agency I don't know. Unless. Not a soundcheck. Okay, it's gonna be something I don't know. Okay, what agencies are there? I don't keep track of them. Okay, Celestial Divine or Mammal. They might be a mammal. Let me guess a mammal. Let's see, let's guess a Canadian mammal. I think, is that a Canadian? It might be. No. But they are a mammal, not a Canadian. Also, they don't have light hair. Let me see if I can... I don't know this, man. It's not looking good for me. Random guess. Doesn't help. Random guess again. I just don't know agencies. An unknown nationality. That kind of does not help. Random guess. When? English, German, Filipino, Swedish. Hold on a second. English, German, Filipino, Swedish. I'm not gonna know this. That's too many languages. It's over. Not a good run. Good. 77k. I'm not gonna. This is not happening. I still don't know what they are. And yes. Raccoon. Excuse me. Okay, I have to be careful about this. I kind of was just randomly pressing it. Coma shift idle core. Raccoon. Hold on a second. Coma shift idle core raccoon. Do I know them? Poker raccoon. Active. Is Poker raccoon active? It might not be active, but guess there anyway. Saved in the last second. Coma shift. Actually, hold on a second. Did I guess? Oh no, she's former coma shift, but it didn't be a thing. Saved at the last second. I'm goated. Go do one last one for switching games. Put the fish down. EN. Earlier gen. English. Not Twitch and YouTube. Not active. Nanashi movie. Okay. I almost got it. Okay, what are the views? Earlier graduation. When was that? When? Lana. Okay, I'm trolling. Cancel not promising. I'm trolling. I'm throwing so hard. I should have locked in, but I did not lock in. Actually, hold on. I don't know why. I did not check height. Actually, no, it wouldn't help. It's whatever. Also, I didn't check nationality. Okay, I actually trolled. I actually threw. I could have gotten that so much faster. Okay. We'll switch. Put that again. Switch to unit. That's gotta call on guesser. Debut date. Earlier debut. Active. Not even. Yuzuki shorter. Is Yuzuki shorter? I don't feel like she's shorter. She might be. Let me think. For what? Third Japan. Toa debut that same year, okay. Earlier than Toa. Yes, Japan. I don't remember the order of the gens, man. Taller than Toa. So they're like 5 feet tall. Hachima is human. High-spec robot. Later than that. Okay. Okay. Nakamura. They're between 5-1 and 5-2. Gamers B-skin. Yeah, I'm just gonna randomly guess. No. Okay, patrolling. Patrolling. Maybe. Okay. Steam mode. You still won't be able to heal this, but it's whatever. I know this. That is G mode. We're gaming. Lock in. Log in. The ocean mark mode. Okay. Stream mode. I might not get this one as easy. What does this look like? Random guess. Go down. Random guess. Go down. I think this is not them. I think this might be them. Might be something else. Okay, there's not enough detail for me to understand this. I just need to throw out guesses that eventually there. Let's see, who do I guess? No. Who do I guess? It's still hard to tell what this is. There's more detail, but still not enough. Okay. Random guess. Idiot. No. Oh, is there anything? It is. Okay. We got it eventually. Alright. You know what? Close this out again. We're done presenting. Butler, get over here. He's behind the projector. Go on and grab the projector and take it out again. Oh, and no. Okay. What's that be? How long have we been here? Hour and a half. That's crazy. It's kind of too much time. Oh, there's something I didn't check. There's one more thing that I was supposed to prepare before the stream, and I didn't. But it's whatever. It's fine. This wasn't like an alright stream, I guess. Actually, a pretty good stream. Let me move back. Let me move the chair back to the center. Where's the chair? Right here. And move myself back over. Now that we're done presenting. If that's not center. That's closer to center. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Let me see. Probably gonna be ending here. Checking one thing. Okay. Yeah. I can say thanks before popping by. We have a. Okay, I forgot how I do the outro on this tea party. I don't do the usual outro. But it's whatever. Okay, you know what? You know what? Get this. Get the out. You. You right there. You have your time. I'm just gonna walk him out again. Yeah. You. You do you. Goodbye. Goodbye.